John Zeppetelli from the MAC. He's the director of the MAC. We are talking about the 50th anniversary of this fabulous museum. I can't even believe it's 50 years old already. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about, before we talk about all the celebrations happening around the museum, tell us about how this very important collection got started right here in Montreal.
Well, it was founded 50 years ago, therefore in 1964, at the initiative of artists and collectors and gallerists who wanted to establish in Montreal like a formal place for, the preservation, the acquisition, the presentation of contemporary art. And they lobbied government, and then the government intervened. We are now a Société d'État, so we, report directly to the Minister of Culture, and we're, one of the most important museums in the country. In fact, we're the only museum of contemporary art exclusively devoted to contemporary art in the country.
Which is, I don't think a lot of people realize that. I mean, we're taking a look at some of the images of the collections there. Why is it so important, I think, do you think, to highlight this at this 50th anniversary? Because, as you just mentioned, it is the largest one of the most important ones out there.
Yeah.
Not an easy task to get started, I don't think, at the beginning, but now it just seems very much part of Montreal.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the Quartier des Spectacles in downtown Montreal. I mean, we're perfectly situated, ideally situated. And this exhibition, which is called La Beauté du Geste, which marks the 50th anniversary, was a way for us to thank the donors who have donated works to the museum for the last 50 years. So it was a selection of about 200 works, which, meant to sort of reciprocate this act of generosity that they had offered us.
So these are private collectors oftentimes donating to the museum.
Artists, collectors, all kinds of fantastic donations. About 40% of our collection, which is about 8,000 works in total, 40% of it is the result of donations. So we wanted to give back to the donators, if you like, and make a tribute to them.
And celebrate their generosity. What exactly is the Pulse Room? Explain this to me.
Pulse Room is also a donation to the museum. Pulse Room is an amazing work by an amazing artist who is Mexican of origin.
This is it, right here, right?
Exactly. Lives in Montreal. Rafael Lozano-Hemmer. He is a huge international art star, and I think, in comparison, probably not as well known as he should be in his own city. But literally, he travels all over the world, to Asia, to Europe, and does these spectacular public installations. This is a very participatory work where visitors are invited to come into this room. As you can see, hundreds of light bulbs are pulsating at different rhythms.
It's amazing.
It is really spectacular. And the visitor is invited to put his or her hands on this mechanism that reads your heart rate, which is then
pulsated.
Exactly, with a light bulb that's immediately above this mechanism, and so that then the whole room pulses with your heartbeat, and then it moves to the first light bulb in this array of 300, as I said, which displaces the light bulb before, so that, at the end of an evening with 300 visitors, you have 300 differently pulsating light bulbs and hearts, a community of people in a room.
Angelica Mazziti, very quickly, also a huge part of the celebration.
Absolutely. Angelica Mazziti is very little known in Montreal. She's Australian, she's quite young, and she did an amazing exhibition for us called Citizens Band, which looks at 4 migrant musicians who have, in their lives, done street music. So you have an Algerian who is almost blind playing, beat-up old Casio in the Paris metro. You have an amazing Mongolian throat singer who plays this beautiful stringed instrument on the street of Sydney. Heartbreaking stuff. You can tell that these people bring to their music and to their performance all of the narratives of their life.
And you bring all of that together at the MAC. Again, congratulations on the 50th anniversary. Tons of celebrations, tons of activities happening at the museum. You have to check it out. If you've never been, it really is mind-blowing. Thank you again for joining us,
Thank you for having me.
John.